I mean, look, anything you guys do, I mean, moving on through Decatur, let me know when you come back. I want to hear all about Vanderbilt after college. You come back through, tell us all about it. And congratulations, man. I mean, gotta be huge. I mean, you gotta be excited.
Awesome. Oh, it's so amazing. I'm so very grateful and blessed.
Yeah. So you got accepted to Vanderbilt. You're gonna be playing football, but you're not gonna be QB, I hear. Is that?
No, I'll be going for like a flex tight end.
Okay.
So it's like a more of a receiver tight end. So I'm really excited for that.
Like the guy you pick, Kelsey and Kittle, the flex tight end, flex position fantasy. Yeah. It's kind of like that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, the NFL and college football is really going away from. A lot of teams, if you look, a lot of them are playing 2 tight end systems now, and so there's one guy who's like that 260-pound traditional tight end, more like a blocker. Mm-hmm. But there's this new hybrid position that people are seeking, where they look for those 6'5", guys who can run, can catch. A lot of them were former quarterbacks, believe it or not, in high school. Kittle and Kelsey, both former high school quarterbacks. And so, it's a great opportunity to go out there and be a big weapon that they can create matchups with and everything. So it's Brycen, when he tells people tight end, they go, well, you're not 260 pounds and everything. But he's planning on going into Vanderbilt at like 210, 215. And then they don't want him any heavier. They want him to be fast.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get him up to about 230, 235. But that's where they want him to play. Schultz for the Cowboys last year and these other guys. You see that other tight end type guy, and that's that flex tight end. Everybody's looking for them. They're very hard to find.
Now you're moving on to college, and you're leaving your dad as a coach.
Yeah.
Talk to us about like how you guys are feeling. This is like going to be the first time that you not with your dad coaching.
Yeah.
This will be the first time or the last time that you've coached your son.
Yeah.
I mean, that had to be, first off, it had to be an incredible, kind of bittersweet moment. State championship.
Yeah.
You guys went all the way this year.
Yeah.
You got to coach him winning the state championship.
Yeah.
I mean, talk to us about that.
It was stressful. Like every playoff game to me before the state championship was very stressful because I knew what his goals were. And then I would think about, is this the last practice? Is this the last game?
Yeah.
And the day of games, like that anxiety was building up inside me. I had to call my wife. I'm like, and have, I had to call a few other coaches that I know that have gone through the same thing because it's tough to deal with thinking about the end. But when we won against Milford Mill, and I was like, okay, I know how many days left we have of practice. I know when his last game, and that gave me some comfort. Mm-hmm. And then we just talked about, all right, after we win, I'm looking for you to hug and everything. So don't miss me. And everything.
I saw you, and I saw you walk over to the side. I don't know if it was you went over to your wife, you kissed your wife, you hugged your mom. I don't know if it was
same person.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was it a grandparent who was there?
My mom. Yeah,
your mom.
Yeah, my mom was there.
Your mom was there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's I lost my dad a few years ago, so this was unbelievably sweet. And I'm an only child and everything, so making sure that I found mom up there, extra special meant a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, sharing those moments as a family, and I wasn't allowed to get like my 10-year-old on the field during the game, and he's usually the water boy, which just broke his heart. But after the game was over, I could see the tears in his eyes, and I was like, you know what? What, are they going to arrest a 10-year-old? So I grabbed him and put him on my shoulders and was able to carry him in, and we got to share that moment. We're so blessed, Bill. It's been unbelievable. I think the next practice, next year in August when I don't see him on the field, I think that's when it's going to sit in. Mm-hmm. But I'm just so proud. I got the maximum amount of days to coach him. His senior year. So
wow.
I can't complain.
That's awesome. Yeah. How are you feeling?
I've had mixed emotions about it the whole time and everything. I'm definitely, I get the 1 in a million chance. I got all the games I could possibly get, all the practices. So, I'm really, really fortunate for that. And, but, I think it's the same thing. I don't really think it's set in yet that, that was the last time he was coaching me or whatever. And, but
because he's still here, he's still here with you. I guess once you get to Vanderbilt,
then it'll be, I think it'll be then.
He actually has. I've always allowed other people to coach him, whether he played with the Aces in basketball, or he played with the Shockers and Royals, mm-hmm. and or he played with the Dorchester County Pop Warner. Now, I've always allowed other people to coach him and everything. So he might actually prefer this again now. Now I won't have to,
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's all. Well, again, congratulations, you guys. I mean, what an incredible run, you guys have had. And, it's also significant for you, Jake, about, because you won.
96 undefeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were 13-0 at Cambridge, the last Bayside team to win. And I think that's one thing about him is he kind of was like, hey, if we win it this year, we're going to go 14-0. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, let's take it one game at a time.
Yeah.
And everything. So, I'm glad that he's able to kind of get that Thanksgiving argument, over me and stuff, going undefeated. And,
right.
And it's amazing. But at Cambridge, we were very, very blessed. Obviously, we had great coaches and all those players that we won it with. I still talk to them today, and it was fun. They were all reaching out to me, sharing in the moment, and I know that these guys are going to do the same thing in the future. So it's very special.
Talk about some of the other players you had this year, some key players other than Brycen. I know Brycen was, kind of like the heart and the soul.
He's not even one of our best players. I'll tell you about our best players. Now, obviously Brycen has left a ton of. He's broke a lot of Bayside records.
Yeah.
I can't even name them all, and a few state records. He's actually the first player in Maryland State history, we were told the other day, to have over 1,000 yards receiving, over 1,000 yards rushing, and over 1,000 yards passing. And I think he's almost at 8,000 total yards, which is an amazing statistic. I think he finished with just under 100 touchdowns. But another guy who's actually, we found out, has just set the state record for receptions. Sorry, not the state, I apologize. The Bayside record for receptions. We have a new record holder, is Gavin Salito.
Wow, incredible.
99 career receptions. And of course, he has, he had 95 tackles this year, and I think he had 96 last year. So I think when you add up, his tackles and his catches, I don't think anybody will have a better combination of tackles and catches ever. So he's one of our great players. Kareem Bolden, who came over from Seaford, only been with us for 1 year. He made so many big plays, including the Milford Mill game. So obviously he's one of our best players, and we're trying to land him, collegiately right now. Another 4-year varsity starter is Gavin Salito, who's an all-state type kid. I don't know. I think he kicked this year over 65.
I think Brogan, Eastlack.
What did I say?
You said Gavin again.
Gavin Eastlack. I love Gavin so much. Yeah. No, Brogan East. Thank you for that. Brogan,
shout out to Salito. Shout out to the Eastlacks. Yeah.
Brogan had over 65 touchbacks this year as a kicker, which is unbelievable.
Wow.
It's one of the reasons we played such great defense. But man, I'm gonna miss people. But we have Ethan Bradshaw, Amarion Manuel, who's another wrestler. Both of them are looking at getting West Point offers, hopefully here in the near future. David Chandler just got offered by Boston College, probably going to pick up West Virginia, Maryland here in the next few weeks. So just a ton of great players. Tribe-wise, he's head topping everybody. He's got an offer from Toledo. Wouldn't be surprised if he picks up another 5 or 10. Just a ton of guys. Everybody's going to be mad at me for not naming them, but we have that many good players that are gaining collegiate attention. Delonte Henry's a guy. Trey Dorn made some big plays. Just a ton of guys. You know what I mean? Zachary Baker.
Yeah.
Just so many players. Garrett Maloney.
Everyone you're naming. It's so cool because we know. Like, they're so beloved, their families in the community.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys got some good people at Decatur. I will say that.
Yeah, and I think that's why we became, kind of Delmarva's team, is because people, teachers, students, our student section was amazing all year. Why? Because our kids are likable. Mm-hmm. They're not jerks. They come out there, they're good kids in the classroom. They're kids that are humble and they get along with everybody. They don't think they're better than anybody else, and we want to keep it that way. So,
that comes from the top down. I mean, you guys teach that.
Good parents.
And
it comes from mamas,
right.
All the mamas.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brycen, you now that football season, is ending, and that's over. You got the one bowl game coming up, but then you're on to basketball, and I saw you play the other night.
I did.
Yeah, you're a multi-sport kid, which is great. You guys, what's the basketball team looking like this year?
I think we're going to be very good. There's a lot of good teams in the Bayside this year, so, I think as long as we come together And I think the only disadvantage we have is because football went so long.
Yeah.
We don't have as many practices right now as all the other teams. So, just getting in the gym and just putting up shots, going from football to basketball, because our whole starting five was all football guys.
I was going to say, you're going to recognize a lot of those names when you watch the basketball games as you did on the field.
Yeah, probably another 3 guys, that aren't starters also. So probably about 8 guys, that they've only had, 2 or 3 practices.
Yeah. I mean, we had the state championship on Thursday, had a practice on Friday we were all really, really sore for, and then a scrimmage was right on Saturday. That we
But they
played
ain't
in.
making excuses, and they're not moving the schedule around. So we got a big one against James and Bennett coming up Friday. That I know everybody's excited for, and we'll be ready to go.
Well, the home opener the other night I was at, I mean, you guys seemed to do well during that game. So, you guys ended up winning that one.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of fun. That game was something crazy to me. I mean, we had like 8 to 10 dunks in that game.
Yeah.
It was wild. And
people getting dunked on.
Yeah.
Not just like the fast break, barely dunk it. I mean, like, Tri-Wise did a little windmill.
Tri-Wise, I saw that.
David went up and dunked it on a kid, and I mean, he made a poster. So
Eastlack had a couple good plays. I saw. Yes.
I mean, this is his first year playing, so I didn't know.
But he went out there. He was crushing it out there.
He's actually the gym basketball hero the last 4 years. He's been dominating in the gym classes. So finally this year he came out, and man, he's a great athlete.
Yeah, he is.
Wow. And obviously, you're going to be keeping up with these guys as you move on. To Vanderbilt and all that. I mean, it's kind of like a brotherhood.
Oh yeah, and I think a lot of the guys that have been here over the last couple of years, like the Luke Murr guy and like Ashley Snellside, like I always keep up with those guys. They're some of my best friends.
Nice.
And everything. Just keeping up with them even through college, because I think that because they were some of the first guys that actually bought into like the tradition and culture we have here now. I think we all just kind of like adapted to each other, and like we all have the same goals in mind, and so I just think we gravitate towards each other, and it's always the same things that when we talk to each other, we always find out how we're doing, and I think the state championship team, like you said earlier, like I think that in like years later on, like we're all going to be checking on each other.
Yeah.
Because that family and brotherhood is just so strong.
Snellsire's in Richmond, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just incredible. All the kids that come out of Decatur and come out of this area. I mean, I've said this for years, that the Eastern Shore is like the youth sports capital of the world. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah. And, talking about the Eastern Shore and the Bayside in particular, there's no conference in football, especially that's getting better quicker than the Bayside Conference. It used to be like once every 8 to 10 years that you see a Division I kid in the Bayside. Now we're seeing, half a dozen to a dozen guys get offered every single year. And a lot of that's the other coaches in the conference, the promotion of the athletes that we've been doing. And then, I think the guys who have been, from Jamion Franklin to David Bailey and all these other guys that, they've done so well collegiately, and we've just drawn a lot of attention, and we really have that foreshore type of mentality. And one thing I love is we don't have that crab basket mentality where one crab's trying to get out and all the other ones rip their arms off to keep them in.
Yeah.
We really have, as a Bayside Conference, everybody is really, in it together and promoting each other's athletes, not just being selfish,
Nice.
Definitely.
So, Coach, next year, with some of these seniors, moving on, what are you expecting? What's the team looking like?
Well, the quest is now you got to try to go back to back.
Right.
I mean, so anything else will be disappointing for the kids, I know. So, we're going to be meeting with them. We got, of course, we got weight training starting up, testing next week, and then we'll get, after it in January, and we're going to have to look at, things we did this year that we need to improve on. And so the quest is to try to go back to back.
I like that mentality. Got to go back to back.
Yeah,
I like it.
Like Drake.
Yeah. See, so who are some key players that were juniors that are going to be with you as seniors coming up this next season?
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
There's so many.
Yeah,
I think the only people we're losing on offense is me and Gavin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our entire offensive line's coming back.
Nice.
10 out of 11 defensive starters.
Yeah.
Most of our skill guys. So we're excited. We're excited.
Yeah. So literally, this is replacing me and Gavin, and it's probably gonna be hard to replace us, but I think
It won't be that hard.
I think we're going to be.
I was going to say
next year.
Any prospects. I guess you don't want to say it now. You
Well,
know, they
I
got
mean,
to come
I
out.
think-
Everybody's got to come out and try out. But,
Well, you don't want to, do that, but all positions are open, including the ones that guys played in this year
Right.
and everything. I mean, we don't want to become that program that all of a sudden, okay, we want a state championship, so guys stop working going into the senior year. You're either trying to go back to back, or you're putting yourself in position where somebody else is going to take that that spot. So we're going to keep it competitive, and we'll let the dust. We always want to play the best players.
Mm-hmm.
So guys have to show up. They got to have a great all season, and then when they get opportunities, they got to perform, and it can't be any other way.
Yeah,
Nice.
the expectation even becomes higher now because you're expected to do everything, and you're expected to have a really good off season. And this is kind of like winning is what's expected now at Decatur. So like the guys have to put just enough work, not maybe even more now, just because they just have to.
You really did raise the bar.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, when Brycen was here, we won. I mean,
Well, I mean, but that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
If you want to have a true program and not just a good team, the expectations got to continue to rise, and the kids are going to need to fulfill those, and we're going to challenge them as coaches, and it's going to be exciting. It's exciting to see, what type of all season we have, and I think that this group's going to have a great all season. I got to admit, there's something special about them. There's so many guys to name. I think we're going to have a bunch of guys. I think this next class, this 2025 class, I think is going to have the most Division I signees of any Bayside team in the history of the conference. I think their senior year. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, they got talent, and so it's, hey, eyes are going to be on us. So, put up or shut up, right?
You going to be up at all the Vanderbilt games?
I'm going to make a lot of games and everything. There's no question about it. So I'll be flying out through a velo.
Yeah.
I'll be driving. I got a couple people that are going to drive while I sleep and then wake up. But when he's playing, I'm going to do everything I can. Now, of course, my other son plays youth football for Pop Warner.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to make smart decisions. But yeah, I'm going to go see him. And the administrators, we've all talked about it. I'm coming back. I'm not riding off into the sunset. I got a lot left still to give.
Coming back, you look, football coaches at the high schools, you're there. Like, you're there now. Like, you ain't going nowhere.
Well, some people say, well, with your son, winning it and everything.
Yeah.
Would you? I've been doing it for 20 years, and everything. But I'm gonna be a fool, even though it doesn't get better than this, and I'm gonna keep on because I think I got something left to give. But I'm gonna need the coaches and the administrators to understand that I want to see my son play. So sometimes there's going to be some tough decisions, and I hope everybody supports that.
Well, now you got your younger son. You got to coach him to the state championship when he comes up.
Yeah. Well, he's only 10, so we got a little bit of time.
Well, that means you're there.
Yeah.
That means you're embedded there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, again, Coach Brycen, thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Tonight, you guys will be in the Berlin Parade, leading things off.
Yeah, number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah, we're right
Close
behind Santa
3.
Claus.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're gonna see who gets more cheers, us or Santa Claus. We're trying.
Of course, you guys.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys.
We're gonna see.
So, but no, thank you guys so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Hey, I
Appreciate you guys having us. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's 9:10. Throwback Thursday continues on the way.
More hits coming up.
Stop searching for value in all the wrong places. When it comes to saving money, look no further than iMart Express. We've got the best insurance offer around. Get a free second pair of glasses when you use insurance with us. You heard that right. Your second pair of glasses is free. It's like finding free money. Get the most out of your vision benefits by shopping for glasses at iMart Express.
Welcome to a place where everyone deserves to be better protected, where technology has your back, where you can have better protection and keep more money in your pocket, where you can have protection for your car, your home, your phone, and even your digital identity. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Call me, your local agent, Mateo Andrade, 302-858-4962. Allstate, where you're in good hands.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
There's a Honda for every holiday adventure. Whether it's a ski trip and an available all-wheel drive pilot, delivering presents in a rugged passport, or hauling a few toys for yourself in a powerful Ridgeline. Find your new Honda during Happy Honda Days. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2023 Honda Passport, a 3.9% APR on a 2024 Pilot, and a 0.9% APR on a 2023 Ridgeline.
Find the perfect Honda for you during Happy Honda Days. See your local Honda dealer.
See dealer for financing details.
Did you know the new updated COVID vaccines are now available? This updated COVID vaccine will protect you from the Omicron variant XBB.